Well, today I'm working on this 1981 Mercedes W123230E. As you see, I'm doing some suspension work to it. Yeah, just thought I'd show a few things as I slowly pull it apart. It's a bit hard to show on camera when it was all together. But here's the upper, well, it's a sway bar as such, and it holds the caster and everything of the top control arm, which I have removed. Now, if I try and get the light to go where I want it to go, there we go. You can see there's a bit of movement there where there may not, or should not be, movement. Now remember, if this moves, the whole front wheel moves with it. So you can imagine how much the wheel was moving by the time it exaggerated by down here. The same with these lower caster rods. There's movement in this, but this front one was more or less okay, but on the other side it's completely worn out. So there's 5 mm of movement down here, and it's got the same problem up here on the other side. And the lower, well, this is the upper control arm that I've removed. You can see the ball joint's a bit stuffed. Still alright, but you get a new one with the control arm. And you can see that the bushings had collapsed completely. See, these are supposed to be pressed in. I can get them out by hand. You can see how loose they are inside. You can see how loose that is. So they're stuffed. So you can imagine how this car drove. Not very well. So everything was just screwed. If you had to take that apart with one hand, yeah, right. And it just fall apart. So replacing all that, whole new one. Comes with new bushings and everything. Now I've got to try and get these out. I think you can see light in certain spots. No, you can't. That moves a lot. This is how you get to the D-bushes as such for the sway bar. And let me hold the camera in the light. There it is. So I've had to take the battery tray out. And the battery, of course. That's how you get to it. But magically, look where the other one is. Underneath the brake booster. So we have to move the brake booster to do that. Because there's the bar there, it runs all the way across. And it just disappears. So, yes, fun. And that's where you unbolt the upper control arms. There's a hole in the side there. Alright, I fitted the new caster rod mount and bush. So now I'm going to do the sway bar bush. So you can see it up here. Just to demonstrate once more the movement we've got. That's pretty hard, isn't it? Every time you hit the brakes, that would move. You hit a bump, you know. Awful. Oh, that's good. Got the booster off and I've got the new bush in down there. Here's the old one. Just to show the difference between new and old. Hang on, take it out of its packet. Oh, there's the difference. You can see the one's a bit worn out. So I can just get my finger in there nice and tight. But this one, rugby. So, yeah, that wouldn't have been helping it. Cool, that's the passenger side done. So I've done the lower mount here. Done new control arm, inner bush, and the D mounts in there, and on the other side. As well as that mount back there. Everything else seems to be alright. So, yeah. while I was working on this, down here I saw this. I was like, what the hell's that out of? So immediately I came over here, just had a quick Captain Cook. Look what I found. It's going to need a new fan. Oh well, that automatic transmission for the Series 1 is ready to be picked up. So I haven't driven this thing much at all this week. Just been driving the Merc, so let's see if this thing starts. And it's on petrol. Come on. Be a good girl. Excellent. Yeah, I got the Series 1 gearbox back. It's got new clutches, new band for second gear. It's had the valve body overhauled, torque converter flushed, new pump seal and seal kit. It should go quite well now. Cat always manages to get into the cars. The window's only down that much and there's a cat in there. He loves a little Toyota though. Just thought I'd show a spring released out of one of the front ends of these cars. It's quite large. Like there's the wheel of the car. So, very big. Bit of a nightmare they are. Poor compressor. Funny thing is, I just realised this is full to the very top. And it was down here, or about there, when I started yesterday. It must have been pretty humid. This setup works bloody well. Condenses all of it. I've got this side done, as you can see. Got little new parts in there. I've just got the spring in place. Damn, it takes a lot of energy to compress them that far. So, and these spring compressors, you can see the spring's just a little bit small for the compressors. It's very tight coil. So when I was taking this out, one of them actually slipped and the spring came flying out, which was fun. Like they stayed on there, but one spun around to the other side, so the spring turned into a U shape. So I've got it back in now, just got to jack it up and release the actual spring compressors. And I've got it all together and bolted up now, so I can decompress this spring. I'll try and put the camera somewhere so you can watch. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, I'm just sitting on top of a Hyundai engine. I'll get in here. This is awfully dangerous, people. If you're not sure of what you're doing, don't do it. Think how much air I use to compress these things. God. Poor compressors had to work out today. decompressed spring. Compressors are a bit hard to get out. Need to get a crowbar in there. Spread the spring a little bit. That way I can get them out. Oh, that one's stuck. Good fun though. Oh, at least you see. So now I just got to get them out. Because as you see, the hook gets wedged in between the coil. Fun. There we go, beautiful. Nicely in, sits the way it should. Sitting in the little end spot, yeah, cool. Well, I got some wheels on it now. Got a brake booster, haven't got a battery yet, but getting there slowly. And hopefully I can bleed the brakes from up here. So I took it off in such a way that I might be able to get them to work again without having to go around to each wheel and bleed them all the way through. We'll see. But yeah. So now I've got to do a temporary wheel alignment here at home before I can drive it up to get a real wheel alignment. It looks pretty good as it is. Like the wheels are, you know, within where they should be sitting and they're not pointing in the wrong direction. The test drive will tell all stories. So at least you can't jiggle them backwards and forwards 2 inches in the arch now. So it should drive much better.